welcome to Keep It Education, and in this video we are going to talk all about stem and leaf diagrams. So first of all, stem and leaf diagrams are actually pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to start with an example and go through how to actually create a stem and leaf diagram based on a question that you might get in the exam. So here is the question. It says that here are the ages in years of 15 students, and you need to show this on a stem and leaf diagram. Now, when you are doing this, it will also ask you to use a key. Okay, so you must use a key. Now, in terms of drawing this stem and leaf diagram out, what you need is a stem, which is kind of like the vertical section, and then you need the leaves, which will be your horizontal bit. So in here, what we have is we need to look at the smallest value first. So if we have a look, the smallest value I think is 18 or 17. Yep, 17. So 17 is the smallest number there, and 17 starts with a 1. The highest value there is, I think, 42. So that starts with a 4. So our stem needs to have the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, because we've got numbers starting with 1 up to numbers starting with 4. We can then draw some horizontal lines just to keep it nice and neat. Now, in your exam, you might have this already drawn out for you, and you just need to input all the numbers, which makes things much easier. Now you're going to go through your numbers from smallest to largest, and you are going to input those, but you're not going to put in 19 or 18. You are going to leave the 1 as it is and just put the number afterwards. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to do this in a different colour. So our smallest number was 17. So I'm going to put my 7 there, and it shows that everything beginning with 1 is going to go across there, but you're not going to put the 1. The 1 is going to be the stem. And then the kind of, if you think about it, you've got your tens and your units. Your tens are going to go on your stem. So write that down there, your tens. And your leaf will actually be your units. Okay, so we've got 17. Then we've got an 18 here, so we're going to pop an 8. And then we have got another 18 just there. And then we have a 19. Okay, so we've done all of the values that began with one lot of 10. Now we're going to look at our 20s, our 2 lots of 10. And we have the number 20. I might do this in another colour actually, just so you can see. But obviously in your exam, you'll just be using your normal pen. So you've got 20 there, so I'm going to put a 0. Okay, you've got your 2 in your stem, your tens, and you're just going to put your 0. You've then got another 20, so put a 0. You've then got a 21, so we're going to put a 1. A 22, pop a 2 in there. A 23. Pop your 3 in there, a 25, and a 29. So it looks like I'm just going to have to extend my lines out just a little bit further to make sure I can fit everything in. Okay, then we're going to move on to our 3s, our 3 lots of 10. The smallest 30 is 33, just there, pop a 3 in, 37, and then another 37. And then the last one you've got there is your 42. So we can just pop a 2 in there. So there you have created your stem and leaf diagram, and that's all you've got to do. So obviously, if there were numbers in there that had 50s or 60s in, then we would have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and added all of our units in that way. But obviously we just need to write down the amount of 10s that we have in the stem, and then we add our units in on the leaf part. Now you must use a key, so I'm going to write down here key, and my key means that basically what I'm saying is that this 1 and the line and the 7 equals 17, is it years? Yeah, 17 years old. Okay, so I'm showing you that that is my stem. My stem is the 1 or the 2 or the 3, and my unit is the 7, and it represents 17 years. Okay, let's do another one just so you're really clear on that, and then what we're going to do is have a look at how to work out some averages from stem and leaf diagrams. Okay, the next question, and feel free to pause the video at any time and have a go at this, says that Joe measured the times in seconds it took 18 students to run 400 metres. Here are the times. So we've got anywhere between 61, I think is the smallest value here, up to 103, which is, oops, oh no, change the colour, 103, which is our largest value, okay? So what we need to do here is, because our smallest value is 61, we actually just need to start our stem and leaf diagram at 6. And our largest is 103, so we can go up to 10 there, okay? Because it's like because I've got 100, I've got 10, lots of 10, okay? So don't forget my 10s are my stem. And then I just need to draw my lines ready to input my leaves, okay? All right, so why don't you try and fill that in then? If you have done already, fair enough, but pause the video and try and fill in that stem and leaf diagram. Okay, if you've already done that, let's go through it together and make sure that everything's correct. So our smallest value here, as I mentioned, was 61, so I'm just going to put a 1 in there. And my second largest value was 67. Sometimes it's useful to do this in pencil when you're practicing or revising, because sometimes you might miss a number. I've done that loads of times. I'm like, oh, 61, 64, and then there's something where in there's a 63. And I've missed it out. So if you do it in pencil, at least then you can kind of go back, rub it out and add in the ones that you've missed. Okay, so that's the highest values for the 60s. Now we're going to go on to the 70s. And our smallest 70 value is 75, so we can put 5 in there. We've then got a 78, and then a 79. I think that's it for the 70s. Yep, so now we can go on to the 80s, and our smallest 80 value is 80 itself, 80. So I'm just going to put a 0 in there. And then 82. 85, 86, and 89. And again, I know I'm doing this, I do apologise, I've had such a bad cold and cough. I'm doing this in different colours just so you can see the difference in the numbers, but hopefully once you manage to do this a few times and you're confident with it, then you'll be fine doing it with just one pencil or one pen. Okay, let's move on to the 90s. We've got 90, and another 90, a 92, a 94, a 95, a 96, and a 98. So just to make it nice and neat, I'm just going to extend those lines a little bit more. And then finally our 10s, so I'm just going to change the colour here. Let's use pink because we haven't used a pink yet. And we only have one value for the hundreds, which is 103, so we can just pop that in there. Not very good pink, is it, after just using red, but never mind. Okay, so we have done our stem and leaf diagram. Perfect. That is all complete. That is part A of the question done. The only thing we have forgotten, and I'm just going to rub out this question just so that I've got some space for it, is we need to draw our key. And our key is always really important. You always must include your key. So if it's easiest, just use the first one. We've got here 61, so you can just do 6, line 1, and that equals 61 seconds. Okay. Now question B, which I'm going to write here in a different colour, is work out the median. Work out the median of these values. Now the median, if you aren't quite sure on averages, there is another video on that. The median is the middle value when all of the numbers are in order of size. Now the beauty of a stem and leaf diagram is that you've just literally put them in order of size by drawing out that stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so all we need to do now is find the middle. And the middle is, if we take one away from each end until we get to the centre, we'll find the middle. So if you just watch what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go through my stem and leaf diagram with my white pen, just so you can see. And I'm going to take one from there, and then one from there, one from there, and one from there, one from there, one from there, one from there, one from there. Can you see what I'm doing? Just taking one from each end, and make sure you remember it's one from each end. Okay, so now I'm going to take the 5 and then take a 0, and then I'm left with these two here. Okay, so those actually represent 86 and 89. Now, in this case, we can't find a middle value because we've got two of them. So, well, we can find the middle value, but we've not been left with just the middle value. We've now got to figure it out. So the middle value is whatever is directly in the middle of 86 and 89. So you could work this out in two ways. You could do 86 plus 89 and divide it by 2. Okay, so you just add 86 and 89 together, press equals, and then divide by 2, or, work that out, and your answer would be 87.5. Or, what I think is a bit of an easier way, which I'll do here in green, is write down 86, 87, 88, and 89. And then, as you can see, that is directly in the middle there. Okay, so you've got two numbers on this side and two numbers on this side. So what is directly in the middle of 87 and 88? It's 87.5. Okay, so when you don't get the median completely or straight away, you can either add them together and half it to find exactly the centre, or you can write the numbers out and just figure out which one's directly in the middle. All right, I hope that made sense. Let's just do a few more just to make sure that you're completely sure about drawing stem and leaf diagrams and working out averages from them. So this next question is already kind of done a stem and leaf diagram for you. So let's just read out the question itself. Anil counted the number of letters in each of 30 sentences in a newspaper. No idea why you'd do that, but whatever. Anil showed his results in a stem and leaf diagram. Okay, so the stem and leaf diagram is written just here for you. You can see that some sentences had 8 letters. So obviously we've got the key here, so we must have a key. So 0, 8 equals 8 letters. All right, we can even put that in a box to make it nice and neat and clear. Question A over here states write down the number of letters with the number of sentences with 36 letters. Okay, so let me just pop that down there. The number of sentences with 36 letters. So what we need to do is find in the stem and leaf diagram where it says 36. Okay, so here's 30, and here's a 6, and here's a 6. So that's 2. There's 2 6s in there, which means there's 2 sentences with 36 letters. So our answer is just 2. Okay. Then it says to work out the range. Now, if you can't remember how to work out the range, it's the biggest value minus the smallest value. Okay. So you need to find the largest value, which is very easy in this case. I'm going to use green here. The largest value is 45. It's the last one in the table. And the smallest value is 0, 8. So it's just 8. So to work out the range, we just do 45, take away 8, which is 37. And then finally, we have got to work out the median. Okay, now the median, again, as I've said before, and I'm going to do this in red, is we're going to take a value from each end, from the beginning and from the end, until we find the middle. Okay, so let's start with 8. So we're going to 1 there and 1 there. Okay, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Keep going. 1 there and 1 there, 1 there and 1 there. 1 there and 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there and 1 there. And I'm going to keep doing this until I get to the middle. 1 from there, 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 and then 1 from there, 1 from there. And we're left with these 2 7s, which actually means, if I can maybe use a highlighter, it means that that's 27 and that's 27. And right in the middle of 27 and 27 is 27. So our median is just left with 27. Okay? All right, I hope that makes sense to everyone. If you would like to leave some comments in the comments section and let me know how you found that, if there was anything else that you would like to know about stem and leaf diagrams, pop that in the comments, and I'll see you next time in my next video next week. Also, if you'd like to, you can follow Cuba Education on Instagram and on Facebook, and soon my website will be up and running. Good luck with your exams this year, and I'll see you next week.